Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, welcome to In the Box with your hosts, Matt and Adam.
Everybody get...
Look at that technology.
There he is. Oh, and we're ending.
I thought he just dropped off.
No, I was wondering why I was so ugly, and then I thought it was the camera, it's just me.
I don't think there's some things we can't fix here on this show.
Yeah. The only way I can fix that is if I'm off. So
Yeah. So, happy Thursday night, everyone. MASL in the Box for March 3rd of whatever year this is. Continuation of March of 2020. Special guest, the B himself, Willie B.
and fresh off of MSL midweek.
Oh, how's it going?
Good, how are you? 2 goals versus Florida.
Yeah.
Not bad for a rookie.
Not bad for a rookie.
Not great either.
Oh, it's Florida though.
Yeah.
So that's better than not than it could be.
I heard the only reason I'm on here is because I heard I was getting cake sent.
There's here, see if we can catch it. Oh, that was pretty good.
Well, if that was the case, I would have had cake sent to you. I sent it to Adam.
Well, I'm going to be in Utica on Sunday, so
That is true. I will smuggle cake in.
all right, there we go.
Can you smuggle it into the arena there?
I don't know. Well, ding dongs are considered cake, right? It says cake right on it, so
Sure.
yeah.
So
I can do that.
if ding dongs are cake, is a corn dog a sandwich?
No,
That's a tough one.
corn dog is not a sandwich. Corn dog is a novelty hot dog.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No,
There's bread and there's
because the bun is connected.
Remember they asked that in Kansas City once?
you could hear right over the PA. In fact, I have that sound clip somewhere. You could hear the
It was
PA
in the middle
guy.
of a game.
Yeah, right in the middle of a game, and he was talking to the fans. He's like, "So fans, think about this: is a corn dog a sandwich?" And then he goes back to calling the game.
But look at you guys' influence.
Yeah, I guess so.
Corn dogs everywhere. You got people thinking wild over some corn dogs.
We got Nick Vasilis too.
Have a corn dog, Adam.
Nick and Eric, the legends.
Yeah. So we're sorry, everyone. Hannah couldn't join us. She's not feeling well. Matt put a lot of pressure on her that she had to pick live games against Willie B here, and she couldn't take the pressure. Or maybe it was the other way around.
I don't know. She was very upset, but sends her love.
I appreciate it. I was getting nervous too. I was like, oh. I was trying to text for inside information, like who's out, who's
I don't think she would have given you that. She probably would have given you false information.
No, I was texting the other teams. I was like, who's out?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just to make sure I had the best chance.
Yeah. Ask the Wave if we're gonna have like all 16 guys out for this game or whatever.
Yeah.
Brutal stuff. So how are things going?
In Harrisburg? It's
Yeah.
good. I mean, obviously we're not doing as well as we wanted to, but it's more of like with a young team, you just gotta focus on getting better each day, and like Robbie, like Alexis, Alejandro, we have a couple of young guys that are really stepping up and getting better each game, and that's kind of what the focus is. And the question is, can they be ready for us as a team to take that next step moving forward? But it's frustrating, but it is what it is, and I think we've all taken it in stride and looking forward for the future.
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, as long as you have a goal of, if you can get better every game, a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and just kind of keep progressing on there.
Yeah. I mean, of course, that's not like what you want your season to be, but it is, you just got to look as what it is, right? Because the little victories of we just have a really young team, and a lot of them are rookies, and they're going to get a lot better. And like you see, like playing Florida and running with Florida with 6-7 guys who are under 25, that's pretty cool.
So I think we saw you on MASL midweek. If anyone hasn't seen that, Michelle Gingras does a great job with that show. If I would have known it was just going to be you tonight, I would have just written down all the questions she asked you and then just asked them one at a time. Right?
So how was Mexico?
Yeah. But one thing she did say, or I think you said you guys are the youngest team in the league. I think.
Yeah, and it's probably not even close. Like
I think Utica's a close second.
Young or old?
Old. You're like I said, I ain't saying nothing on nobody. I don't need any feel for anybody.
I think I'm still in the age bracket to fit on Utica's roster right now.
I think we're all safe in that one.
Well, it's funny actually. I don't know who told me this. At the beginning roster, and this is before you signed some rookies, you guys had like the oldest professional team in America.
Yeah, it's
oldest.
It's pretty old. Yeah.
Basketball, hockey, the oldest team in America.
That's why we have games at 2:00. It's done by 5, and everyone can get to bed, including myself.
Yeah, I like an afternoon game.
Yeah,
I love an afternoon game. It's get to bed at a normal time and decompress, because I am always amped up like after a game, and like we'll end at like 10:00, and I'm just laying in my bed wide open, like doing nothing. So 2:00 games, 3:00 games, 4:00, 5:00 games, the best.
Yep.
I played a couple seasons of the old persons league a number of years ago, and they would have like Monday night 11 p.m. games.
Yep, that's the typical.
And I get home and I'm like, I need to be at work at 8, and I'm just like this at 1:30 in the morning. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, those are the ones where you're like, why did I just do that?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I stopped playing. That was a whole series of questions of why did I just try to do that?
Yeah, it's everything. And when I go, like when I'm back home, I'll play in the field a couple times a week, or a couple times a month, and every time I'm like, I don't know why anybody plays soccer. This is not fun. Like I'm just tired, and I'm just laying there, and if it's late night, like I can't sleep. But it's always fun to get a run in.
Doing what everyone loves, for sure.
Yeah.
So Matt, what questions do you have for?
So I mean, you guys are young, but you also have another young. I wouldn't say he's young, but young in his job, and you've got Pat Healy. What has Pat taught you guys over the years? I mean, you've been there a couple of years. What has he taught you guys?
For me, I think Pat is super detailed oriented, and for the guys who've been with the team for a long time, like you can tell like how much we know. Like, for example, like I went to Muskegon and I coached an M2 team, and I felt like it was crazy, like information that I didn't think about, and it was for one game, but information I didn't even like realize that I knew, and looking for these things. I'm like, wow, I can actually teach this stuff, not to the highest level, but it's like, wow, I know this stuff actually only after 2 years. So Pat does a good job of teaching, and he, and having us really focus on the details and what we're looking for, the why of everything. I think he's just a really good teacher, especially because he's played so recently, right? And he played at a high level, and he was Defender of the Year. And and he'll say this: he was never the most athletic, so he's always the smartest to do how successful he was. So I think he can really teach it, and he does a good job with that. I don't know if Robbie wants to. Robbie, if you want to answer that.
Yeah, for me as a young guy, a lot of like, especially what he was saying with the details, those are things that I specifically have to, like analyze more, because I have obviously like the ability of being young, being able to like run around and buzz and do all that stuff. But like a lot of these guys, a lot of these older guys, they've just been doing it for so long. They have to really know the ins and outs. And when I first got there, it was kind of like a wake up. It was like, wow, this is like the real deal. These people are like on, like it's just like a constant emotion with all of them. And every day when we go into training, it's like I learn something new each day, whether like just spacing, where to be, what runs to make, how where to mark players, when to go to a zone or when to go to man-to-man, stuff like that, where you just like start picking it up. And the more and more like I go into trainings and I play in these games, I go into the games, and it's funny because when I go back into training, things that I didn't even think I was picking up, I start like doing on the fly. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm actually learning things like subconsciously that I didn't even think I was learning. And that's just the thing with him. He's a very detailed orientated guy, like how Will said. So he always just brings a lot of information and a lot of those things and drills it into you. And it really helps a lot, especially for the young guys moving forward.
Nice.
Right.
Did I get your name spelled right? Robbie with an IE?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Am I super blurry in there, or is that just my computer?
Not too bad. It's a little bit. But not,
It's fine. It's fine. We can hear you.
Yeah, HP computer.
it was better than when you guys were in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I had the whole crew there too.
I know. So what happened there is the software I used for streaming updated that week, and it broke the one thing that I needed to use to bring you guys in from the meeting into the call. So that's the one thing that they had a bug in, and it's the one thing I needed and didn't realize that till the next day. So sorry about that, but glad we were able to get you on now.
Yeah. I feel like Matt's scared of me.
Scared of what?
Saying anything.
I just asked you a question.
This is the quietest I've ever heard Matt, and you should see him in my DMs.
or calling you last Sunday.
Like, man's very talkative. Now he's quiet. He was waiting for Hannah to save him, and now she's not here.
Yeah, right.
Well, she's not here. Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Now he's scared.
So okay. So if you want me to talk, I'll talk. So in your interview, you mentioned arenas that you enjoyed playing at. One came to mind. What's so special about Utica that you love so much?
Close to home. That's it. Next question. I think Utica just does it right up there, And it's funny because you guys had and you had Adam, you had Gio, and they were like probably the three like top arenas to play, and like you guys always do it right. So it's funny because you guys always get the upper crest of like Milwaukee's a sick place to play, and Baltimore's a sick place to play, and Utica's a sick place to play, and the atmosphere is always everything's just professional. The atmosphere is always great, and it's always a good game regardless of scores,
Right.
Because you can go to other places and it can be a great game, but you can feel when the atmosphere is not there, or if we've been blessed. Like we played Dallas on a day where I think it was like a youth fan appreciation night, and it was crazy. It was awesome. We played 2 years ago. We played St. Louis on their alumni night, and there's 6,000 people or 500, and it was awesome. Like we always get blessed with good dates or good fan bases away, and you notice that. But that's and even in Chihuahua, like it was awesome too. So, but I do like Utica going up there. We always have something like a little, like I guess we play each other 6 times, so there's always like some sort of intensity with each other.
Yep.
But it's funny, it's like I've played with or against, like I know a bunch of those guys outside of indoor soccer. So, it's for me, I'm not like, I have no bad blood towards anybody up there. It's just more of like the intensity of the game and the fans. And that first game we played of the season when it was 5-4, like it wasn't super packed, but when it was going back and forth, it felt like it was the 3,800 people that can fit in that arena. It was just nuts, but it's Utica's all right.
Oh, forgot to ask, how's your shoulder?
It's my tricep strain. So
okay.
Just working on getting back to being healthy. So we'll see how it goes, kind of day to day at this point. But it is what it is. I just landed on it weird, which was weird because it's never happened before. It's with that shot that Gonzaga hit, and I forgot who's out wide for the rebound. I think it was Swift hit it. My player dove, blocked it, and I dove back on my arm, and I think I like hyperextended it, and I strained my triceps. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm just, playing day by day at this point.
So so Matt asked you what your favorite places to play were. What's your least favorite arena to play in?
My least favorite arena to play in, or my least favorite arena to be in?
Yes, both.
Okay, my least favorite arena to play in is Baltimore. Has to be Baltimore. Because Baltimore they know where to be at the right times. Like, they know how to play their arena really well. So it's like, I love it and I hate it, but that's probably my least favorite to play in. My least one to be in. I think you guys can guess. I'm not going to say it. You guys can guess. My least one to play in, and I'm not going to say it.
That just kind of gave it away, but sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it. Y'all can guess. But
I'm gonna say he would have said Mississauga. So we're gonna move on.
I love Mississauga. I don't know why I love Mississauga. That was my favorite place to play on my first year.
It was a nice. I mean, the turf was pretty nice.
But we also caught it on a good day. Like, you can catch them on it. If you get a nice arena and it's halfway decently packed, it's awesome to play. You just don't want to play in somewhere empty, right?
Yeah, that's why they're not here anymore. That was their big problem.
Yeah.
All right. So Robbie, let's hear a story that no one has ever heard of. Give us a Willie B story.
Oh, you don't want to know.
Like on the road. Let's give us a good Willie B story. I know. So I think you were one of the people that got interviewed by the Harrisburg Heat. It was who would ruin a wedding or something like that. And everyone said Willie B.
Yeah. The thing about
First off, I had to get my
okay.
my
I'll let him.
First off, me and Robbie have a different I knew Robbie from college, so he was my roommate. So we have a different relationship. It's like a big brother, little brother. So he knows better to say anything. Go ahead.
It's just the three of us now. He's gone. You don't have to worry.
Yeah. Won't be recorded to YouTube forever or anything like that. No big deal.
No, that's fine.
Oh man, there's putting me on the spot here and trying to think of like a good one.
He's not gonna say anything. You understand?
Yeah.
There's life after soccer, man, and this is on YouTube. You can't.
Yeah, he's he'll come after me if I say anything too crazy. Trying to think of maybe college days or.
They punch you in the face. You don't come out.
Oh, I could say that. Yeah.
No,
So, I guess a funny one is when we were walking. I was living with Willie B in college. I was about, I want to say 19. He was 22. I want to say 21. What were you, 22?
I don't even believe this story's not even real.
So, there's a bunch of our college teammates. We're walking down the street, just on like a Saturday night, and we're walking down the street, and these group of guys just wanting trouble. These like young college kids walked by us, and I think bumped one of my teammates.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you the story.
And-
Moral of the story: I got punched in the face for doing nothing.
All right. You had your turn. You had your turn. So he bumps one of my teammates. My teammate reacts, says something, kind of like, "What are you doing?" And the guy turns around, and Will's between them, and just sucker punches Willie B. Just punches him right in the face, drops him to the ground. So then, obviously, like there were about 10 of us, so we all started like following these people, reacting, like going down the street. And I've never seen somebody so big and like his size have the reaction he did. He just like, I'm thinking like Will's going to get up and absolutely destroy this guy because he was like 4 times the size of him. And he just stayed so calm and was actually trying to break us up from doing anything. And it was just so funny because he literally didn't do anything and still got punched in the face.
Yeah. Okay. See, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. I got punched in the face, and I said, "What's done is done. Let's just go home. Like, what's gonna happen?" So I
wanted smoke more than he wanted smoke.
I was like,
that's like my big bro.
I got punched in the face. Let's just all go home.
Yeah.
Take the loss. And that's how I am in the game. Like, I don't fight. What's the point? Like,
Also, a fine's not in the budget either. So
You're right. Yeah.
Adam, should I bring back a question I haven't asked in a while?
It isn't about the All-Star game, is it?
It is about the
Oh, it
All-Star
is?
game.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. So a couple years ago, I asked this question to everyone we had on the show, and the All-Star game did happen. So I'm going to ask it now. So if you guys were starting an All-Star team, okay, so you're captains of the All-Star game, who would your first pick be and why?
it's gonna be Tavoy Morgan. It's gonna be my first pick because what he does on the field and what he does off the field. Like, if you watch him, he is a character. He's like the funniest person you'll ever meet. He's always, when he scores, he has a dance. He's not practicing it. He literally he scores, and whatever's in his head at that time, he's gonna do. Like, it's just, he's so funny. He's just, and obviously he's scoring. I think he's like 3rd in goals. Young.
yeah.
So I think Tavoy would be my number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's, for me, it's a clear Tavoy.
Yeah, I could agree with that too as well. Just because his, like he was saying, his passion, his energy. He's also young, so he's somebody that you could build a team around. He's in what is he, 3rd year now? Fourth year. So I mean, he's somebody that he's been doing it now. He's getting into that time where it's like his prime, and it's somebody that you could really build like a team and an organization.
Is this an all-star game or an all-star team?
Yeah, is this like just a game? Yeah, a game where you like building.
It's a game. It's a one-time game.
Still to
Just like they did last year before the season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still Tavoy for me.
I would also make a shout for Ian Bennett as well.
I'm a big fan of Ian Bennett.
I think Ian Bennett still, like, to be doing what he's doing at his age, and still just when he's on his day, just still looks unstoppable. Oh, it can beat you in so many different facets of the game, and he would definitely be up there as well for me.
Yeah, one thing about Ian is, and the only person because I've played with him, Nelly and Ian have like very smart movements. Like, they have natural movements that are calculated, if that makes sense, where like their cuts are here, and it's just so much different than everybody. And that's why I think that Ian scores so many goals and gets himself open, because it's like what he does 3, 4, 5 seconds before he gets the ball, or to get that separation. So yeah, Ian's definitely up there for me as well.
Yeah, he's 38. He's in better shape than I ever was in my life, for sure. And it's not even close. I mean, it's just.
I saw him in I don't know if he'll like this ever. I saw him in a game, or when we played him, he had his shirt off warming up, and I said to him, I was like, What are you doing? Showing off? He did not. He didn't like that at all. If my 28-year-old gut was running out there without a shirt, people would be running away.
So how's that for a question? How do you move so well?
I don't know. I ask myself that every day. I'm like, dang, I still got it.
I'm not sure.
I don't. I mean, I was always skinny growing up. Like, I wasn't skinny. I was very lean. I was like, in high school, I was like 200 pounds, but a very lean 200. And I just kept, the Wendy's got to me.
The cake.
Donuts to an NFL linebacker.
And before you know, I was like, wow, I'm big. But yeah, no, I think it's because I grew up playing lacrosse. I grew up playing in the field a lot. Like I was always quick, ran track. So I think I just having that and having decent reach.
Funny, I have a story that I could think of with his strength. So Will, when we were in college, we got put on like weightlifting stuff with our trainers and whatever. And Will's deal with coach was that he didn't have to do these types of lifts because if he did, he would put on so much muscle mass just because of like how he's just built. So I think there was a time where he came in and he was lifting and he went to do bench press and he comes in. I was like one of the stronger guys on the team. And he asked, what did Robbie do? Just because that's like the competitive nature between us. So he puts the thing on, I want to say it was like 235 or something on the bench press. And no one was like actually spotting him correctly or really like paying attention because like, oh, if Robbie can do this, Willie can do this. So Will went on the thing, but there was no clips on the side of the thing. So he brings the thing to his chest and the thing starts sliding. So it was like stuck on his chest and he didn't know what to do. His legs were flailing all over the place. And everybody starts sprinting over. And before anyone could sprint over, he was so strong. He was able to just sit up and put it on the rack. Even in that situation where he basically ended up just shoulder pressing it and putting it on the rack without any help.
Well, I don't really work out.
And he doesn't work out. It's never worked out.
I don't think there's a point of it, to be honest. But I mean,
yeah, when you're his size, there's no point in it.
Well, I do gain weight really quickly. Like if I went to the gym and started like lifting, I'd be like, I could gain 10 pounds probably within like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he actually can.
Yeah. That's probably not good.
Yeah.
Not good for your Superman-like reflexes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been actually. It's funny. I actually gained a little bit during the season. Now I gotta get that back down. It's too many donuts. I said I was gonna eat donuts.
You said
I had 3 donuts today. You guys think I'm kidding?
So you can blame Alexis for that.
Seriously, I've had 3 donuts.
He brought the donuts.
It lasted. I want to say it lasted 6-7 hours. New Year's Day. Had a nice donut.
There's a really good donut place in Utica, just to let you know.
Don't tell him.
There's a great donut place in Rochester. It's called Donuts Delight.
Donuts Delight.
So you've had the cannoli donut then?
I've had it all.
Oh.
It's like a mile from my house. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Like I'm suing Soccer Sam for this weight.
Yeah, he was testing out. So they ship their donuts now, and he was testing it out. And I just get this random message from him one day saying, "Hey, testing out some new donuts. Can I send you some new donuts?" Because I joked with him. I'm like, because the during the COVID season, every other commercial was his donuts with the cannoli donut. And I'm like, I need one of those donuts. How can I get one? I'm like, you need to put up and I said, you need to put up a shop in Wisconsin so I can go get one of your donuts. And like 3 weeks later, he messaged me. He goes, "Hey, we're shipping out donuts. What's your address?" And I'm like, "Sure." I'm like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And a couple of days later, a box of donuts show up. I'm like, holy crap, these are the most amazing things I've ever had.
Yeah, no, their donuts are really, really good. Really, really good. Which ones do I like? I like their cream filled. Like they do a good job with their cream filled, and they put stuff on it. Yeah, I like their donuts. You get a slice of pizza, the donut on the side, the drink, and you call it a day. Right?
Sounds like the perfect meal. I mean,
Yeah, like a full balanced diet.
That's right.
Really good for you.
meanwhile, Pat Healy's like, well, will it be donuts, pizza?
He knows. He embraces it.
That's good.
That's an off-season regimen.
Well, it's funny because I gained probably like 10, 15 pounds from my rookie year to my second year. And I felt like I was a better keeper because my rookie year, I just kept trying to like dive for everything and not stay up. But then I was just too big to like, go and like dive. I was like, this foot will do it. And this, so that's why I eat it all. So.
That's funny.
That's right. Don't shoot low.
Who was the
Don't make me dive.
Who was the there was an English like second or third tier player, goalkeeper, who used to have the meat pies in goal, and he used to get fined all the time because he
that super fat dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. That's gonna be in 6 years.
Yeah, it was a while back too that it happened, but yeah, he was always in the news because he was getting fined, and he got a shot with him like shoving this meat pie during play. He would just kind of like, oh, the ball's over there. I'm just gonna turn my back, grab this pie, and eat it.
I wish if indoor soccer didn't have a lot of like action, I would definitely have a snack in my sock or something like in my pocket. This is what I want to do. I want to be, and I've never had the opportunity. I want to like running by the boards, ball bounces out. Someone has like some fries, and I eat like a couple of their fries, and just like go along my day. Like popcorn. Anyone who's on the sideline, if you guys
be careful. People can get fined for doing stuff like that.
I think it was with.
Well, I don't think it's going to be alcohol. You guys can keep the alcohol. I will take the food.
All right, I'll get some nachos or something this weekend.
Yeah, bring me some snacks. And then that would be swell.
Drive by nacho. You gotta make sure you get up the boards on that side though, far enough to be able to.
Listen, I'll make sure I get there.
You had that opportunity in Chihuahua. I scored a goal.
I will make sure I get up there. Like if there's foods there, I'll be creative. I'll like get hurt and roll all the way to the bowl. Hey, and then just throw a couple pieces of popcorn in my mouth, and I'll roll back to the bowl.
This isn't the way of game at all.
Yeah. Oh, if Neymar can do it, I can do it too. So, the question is probably coming. What do you think of the goalkeeper rule?
I don't mind it. Granted, I have like the worst feet out of all the keepers, but I don't mind it. I don't really think the way we play. Like at first, I was like, I don't know, like, but the way we play, it doesn't really affect us that much. We usually try to get out of the back quickly and kind of start a transition. I know it's definitely hurt some teams this year, so I understand why some goalkeepers wouldn't like it. But I mean, I understood what they're trying to do. I don't know if goals are up, but I can definitely say I feel like shots and chances are up.
Speed of play.
So I definitely think it worked out. I think it could have went either way, and I don't think it's changing and ruined the game, so to speak. I think it just makes us have to think a little bit harder.
When you could tell, yeah, like Ontario for Ontario was the one that stood out to me. They got caught a bunch of times with bad pass backs, and you could tell their defenders were just taking an extra second before they would turn and like, oh crap, I can't go this way, and then try to turn the other way. And then as soon as especially because they're playing so many games against San Diego, as soon as San Diego realized that, they double team them from like the two sides, and then they're in trouble. Yeah,
but it definitely adds, like, I always, and I know some keepers are like, there's a beauty and like a science to get out. Like you can do same side pressure, opposite pressure, you could, and all that stuff, go in the zone. And it definitely took away from it a little bit, but now there's kind of a different art to get out now, where it's like, okay, well, instead of playing a defender to get the ball back, I'm playing that ball. If the defender can't get that ball and go forward with it, maybe that's not the ball you play, right? So it's a different aspect, but it's not to us like it's not like the biggest of deals, I feel like. And once again, I don't really mind it. If they said, hey, we're going to take the rule out, I wouldn't be upset. If they said, hey, we're going to keep the rule, I would not be upset. It's just, it is what it is. And, you just have to deal with it. So I personally, what I thought would be the best rule would be once they get over the yellow line, you can't go back, because there's definitely teams that would have possession, and as soon as you stepped on that player, they'd go back to the keeper, and then it'd say, okay, well, I'm not going to go. So, but once again, I don't think it. I don't mind it at all. I think I don't think it's a bad rule. It's just it is what games like football and basketball, they always are adapting their game to make it better. So,
I think the yellow line wasn't that the over and back rule, Matt? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they had back in the day. They had
many years ago, before either of us were in the sport.
Went over the yellow, you couldn't.
Yeah, I think it's hard because with like a Baltimore Chihuahua, like it's so small that you can't really. It's hard to do. But I don't know. Like the rule, I think the rule's fine at this point. The rule's fine.
Yeah, in Baltimore, you can barely get the ball over the yellow out of the 3-line pass.
Exactly. Like I've made saves that have been 3 lines.
Right.
Like, so, and there's definitely been blocks that have been 3 lines and stuff like that. So it's definitely, it's harder. And it's definitely harder with that rule at Baltimore, because as soon as they know you have one pass, they're just like setting the right spots, and you're not, Baltimore's a hard spot hard place where your athleticism can like work your way out of it. It's all mental. And they know, like it's so funny because when we've played each other so many times that when you play them, they know, and you can tell these guys, like playing Baltimore is like these guys are like real pro indoor soccer players in the sense that pro indoor soccer players in the sense of they're so professional in their craft. Like they know what I want to do. They know I like doing a certain thing I'm not going to say, but there's a thing that I like to do, and they're all saying, do this. He's going to do this. And I'm like, dang, now what?
Right. Yeah.
So they're really good at that. So I always appreciate playing them because they're just so smart and so you can tell they just did their homework. Like they're not going out there. I think there's teams that definitely go out there and just play and hope for the best and are just talented. But these guys you can tell why they've won, and even when they have the weaker and down years, they're always still pushing to compete. So
speaking of that, you play them tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
In Baltimore, and then you play Utica. So the 2 of the 3 arenas you were talking about, you get to visit this weekend.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited. I think it's our last time for Baltimore. It's our second to last time with Utica. I may have some teams come up the last game for my club, and the last time in Utica. But yeah, I'm excited. I think that Florida game definitely helped us. So we'll see how it turns, how it translates to Baltimore. I always say in Baltimore, it's like I just don't. It's just once you start chasing the game there, it's very hard to come back.
Yep.
So it's just you just kind of have to focus on really, hey, the first 5 minutes is everything. So like I think besides these 2 last times we played them, I've gotten scored on the first 15 seconds there. For like the 6, 7, 8 times I've played them before this year, and all I said in my head was, I'm not getting scored on in the first minute.
Yeah.
Like that was the only thing I was focused on. Like, don't get scored on the first minute, because when you start chasing the game there, it's downhill. So
Baltimore loves to make teams. They love to test them on that opening kickoff.
Yeah.
They play it back and they play it all the way down in the corner, and I mean they won a championship that way in Sonora. Got all the way down in the corner, bounced off, and bam, right in. It's like everyone else is looking around like we're not even ready yet. What just happened?
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I think with the rule, they changed it this year. But with the rule, I think the away team started every time. So I think we kicked it, and they would get it and just score every time. Every time. I was just like, keep it. Give it to me. Let me hit it out for 3 lines. Like, we would just put it in the corner. They'd get it and just score. It was bad.
And we're 30 seconds in, and Willie B is doing a dance for some strange reason.
It's just, but we're over that hump now. So
That's good. Yeah, no, I think that should be a good game. I'll be able to watch a little bit of it until the most anticipated game of the weekend for me, at least, Wave and Ambush tomorrow night. But yeah, it should be.
What do you got? What do you got for that game? What's the score? What's the score?
I got a ulcer for that game, is what I got.
Is it at Ambush or is it at
Ambush? I don't know if you guys saw the news that just came out a couple hours ago. Richard Schmermond was traded to the Comets.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they lost him. Wave, we're still kind of beat up. We're getting Luana, we're getting Mario Alvarez back from the first time in a long time. He's been out for a while. But Marcio's still out. Alex Bradley's still out. Wiedebach's still out. So I think it's going to be a 1 or 2 goal game, and I think it could go either way. I got to pick Wave because that's just how I am. But we're both then playing Tropics at home Saturday and Sunday then. So that's it's important to kind of get that win going into the weekend for both teams.
Yeah.
We're basically tied in the points, but we're ahead of them because of differentials or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I they beat Dallas in a shootout, and I think all 3 of us, Dallas, Milwaukee, and St. Louis, are almost the same kind of team. Not consistent. We have really great games and not so good games, but I think if I think we can get it together, we have it.
Yeah, I think you guys, obviously have the toughest or like the hardest division because you're all beating each other up. I think that's how it was when 2 years ago. It was without Rochester, but it was Baltimore, Utica, and us just like beating each other up, and it has the implications. But I'd say it's going to be 7-5. I don't know who wins. 7-5. I don't know who wins.
I see that. I can see that.
St. Louis usually puts. They like going back and forth. They'll trade goals and kind of hope for them to be the one, who got not more lucky, but who got more fortunate in their chances. So Milwaukee, Matt's playing great, and you have Ian still and Haynes back, so it's definitely going to be. Can't count these guys out. I don't think you can ever count Milwaukee out. I think Milwaukee just has a winning mentality, regardless.
Yeah, and we Wave fans who were worried about last week, don't worry about what happened last week in San Diego. I think at one point they said that injuries and visa issues, and of course the suspension to Huffman. We won't talk about that here, but I think they said there were 12 players that would normally not have been on the roster who were playing, and there's only a roster of 16.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, and I mean they held on for almost the first half.
Yeah.
And then just the wheels fell off, and San Diego did what San Diego does. I mean, San Diego, and I think, but going back to the goalkeeper rule, I think the team that's been benefited the most by that is San Diego, because they were playing that like long ball out to the streaking forward kind of thing. Brian Farber and Pardo. So yeah, I like the 7-5. I think I hope it goes our way. We'll definitely be rooting for it to go our way, and I think Mario Alvarez will bring some more solid structure in that midfield too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
A lot of guys have been going in and out, and guys who normally wouldn't even play were in and traveling, and then last second changes. And I don't know if you saw, we signed Alex Tozer, who hasn't played in 3 years now, I think.
Yeah, or he was down in Orlando, right, for a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know if he played. I don't think he played many games. It was only 3 or 4 games.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. I thought they signed him to play in San Diego, but he didn't play. He didn't travel.
Yeah.
I'm looking him up right now. Let's see. Come on, MASL website. Yeah, he only played 4 games in Orlando. And then he played in Cedar Rapids, but that was 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I know so there's a group of guys who play futsal in the area, and he plays with them, and I know he practices with the team on a regular basis, even when he wasn't signed.
Yeah.
So I think he knows the system pretty well, and
Yeah.
And we need defenders, so
Yeah.
we have the alumni game, and I think they're going to recruit some of those guys.
You can't recruit one of them.
Well, yeah, one of them signed to the old people squad over in Utica.
Well, he won't be there on Sunday.
Like I said, I got a bunch of jokes that I can't say because they're gonna screen record it and.
Yeah, we don't
Just
want
on
to get you
Sunday.
fined because you're on the show here. It's a bad idea.
I don't want to say anything that's so good. I want every team to have fun. All right.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. So, what do you think of Chihuahua after playing them back to back?
I think player for player, the best team in the league.
So I don't know if you've heard, I have a bet against fellow Wave fan Jay Miller that before the season started, before the point system was even in place, he said, "Oh, Chihuahua's an expansion team. They're going to be 0-24." And I said, and I was a little cocky on this. I'm like, I bet they finish above 500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so we got a $20 bet. He wants a 10 and 2 5s. I got to make sure I keep that in mind. I just want the $20 bill that they'll get 13 wins. And if they get 13 wins, I win. Of course, they started out with 0-7 or whatever it was. So they're 14 games in and they have 7 wins. So they need 6 out of 10.
Who do they play?
Let me look that up.
We play San Diego, Ontario.
They have Utica the last game of the season.
They play us again.
Oh, I want to say they played Dallas twice in.
Play Dallas twice. They play Ontario twice in Chihuahua.
Yeah.
And then they played Tacoma twice in Tacoma. And then another San Diego and Ontario in each of those arenas. And then, they finish out in Harrisburg in Utica.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going to Chihuahua and playing, they're probably it's
One of the toughest.
yeah, it's very hard to play. Very hard to play at.
Kind of
Same
similar
thing.
to Baltimore.
When you play at home, especially when you're international, they probably have guys that don't travel, right? So when they're home, they're full squad, and when they're away, they're weaker. So like I said, I think a lot of players would agree. Like player for player, like everybody's a shooter, everybody has foot skills,
Very quick.
everyone's quick. Like it's just
Very talented.
there's not really people you can exploit, and especially if they're at home, like
They're a different team.
I could see them basically saying like, "Hey, listen, we're going to win at home in playoffs if they make it, and can we squeak something out of the next two?" Like every team, I think they're how deep they go, they will not lose at home. It's just a very hard, and it's not anything like the field's amazing. Like the field's really good. It's small, but it's it's put down really nicely. The arena it's different, but it looks. I'll say it gives the TV doesn't give it credit.
The atmosphere was good.
It's the TV. The TV kind of makes it look like, and I wasn't there, but haven't been there, but like a Turlock type feel. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
It's just it's a good arena, but they're real on top of you, real on top of you. They have people playing like right behind. Like you can't hear anything. You literally can't, and it's not like super packed, but you literally can't hear a single thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know their camera's really close to the field. It's that same angle as Turlock is. It's like somebody's cell phone sitting right there.
Which is funny because they do have like cameras on the other side, but there's no fans, so I think they do the other side because the other side is higher. But
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool place, and the whole like it's the funny things are like so nice, and then they just kick your ass. Like everyone's so nice, and they're like, all right, well, here's 11 goals for you.
Or 21 if you're Tacoma.
Yeah.
Oh, that was wild.
See, I think if I've been keeping track of the goals per game average, but I think to really get an idea of with the goalkeeper rule and without, you almost have to take Chihuahua out of that equation, or at least the Chihuahua home games, because you score 21 and you just killed the entire average for the entire league. Because Tacoma's
Sonora was the same way.
Yeah.
Sonora was always, Sonora's practice field or Sonora's game field is Chihuahua's practice field. And we practiced like the night before, and like it's crazy because you can hit the ball like off the boards, it'll just go in the goal because it's all like put in like right towards. Like I actually was like, I'm not. It's gonna like literally like ruin my ankles because it was so whatever. And actually, Chihuahua was kind of like that too. But yeah, I mean, look at the if you look at the median, that's probably gonna give you a good indication too.
Yeah. I got to be a fan of Sonora when I saw their first home game back when they joined the league or when the leagues merged, and they just every time the ball goes over half field, somebody's looking to shoot.
Yeah,
it's like 75 shots a game or whatever.
It's just it's crazy. That place is it's like the size of Baltimore, but with the boards, like you can hit the board and it will go at the keeper.
Yeah, it's angled different.
Yeah, it's angled, so it's so crazy, but it's
a lot more rounded.
Yes, I would say, like, I feel like and I know I'm on a 2-13 team, but I feel like there's more action that with this new rule. I feel like I've gotten more action, maybe not goals. I would say the ball also has a little bit to do with it. Just a little. It's a different ball. You just have to strike it differently, and that could be why goals are kind of offset the goals. I think it was harder for me to adjust to the ball than to adjust to the rule.
Speaking of the ball, how do you feel about the ball? Is it too heavy? Is it weighted? From a keeper standpoint, I mean, you're getting the thing shot at you 100 times a game or whatever. How was that? How was it different? Because there was some concern coming out of Ontario that the ball was a safety hazard, and then we had like 3 or 4 goalkeepers all go down within a month period.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that miter ball, like that ball hurt like a lot. And actually, I actually sprained both my wrists my rookie year with that ball. That they're all different, right? I think it's once again same thing with the rule. Like you get a ball the first day, you're like, holy crap, this is so different and whatever. And now you don't think about it. Like I'll be honest, the first day I got that ball, I could not chip the ball 10 yards. I could not. I didn't know how to kick it. Like, and now I can kick it 15 yards because I still suck. But at the end of the day, it takes time. It doesn't like hurt that bad, to be honest. It's not like something that like, I don't really know if it's like some people feel like it is. It doesn't feel like a huge safety thing for me. Throwing it's a little bit different. But it's not, I just, whatever they give us, you just got to kind of make do with it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So it's not, I'm like indifferent. I just had to adjust to it. And, every ball is going to have its thing. People say the old flight ball is a little too light. This one's now too heavy. This one's too small. This one's too big. So.
But yeah, I would assume, like you said, the first time you get it, holy crap, what is this? And by the end of the year, you're like, oh, I didn't even realize that it changed.
Yeah, exactly. It's, just because, next year it's going to be the same thing, right? Because this like niche of indoor soccer needs a specific ball. It's like a ball that's not too heavy, but doesn't bounce, but does bounce, that is big enough, but not too big, that can not, like.
It won't kill you if you get hit by it, right?
Yeah. It's always going to be somebody's going to have something to say with it. But I've like if they said, hey, we're going to change back to the miter ball. Actually, it's not miter, it's miter. The miter ball, I would be like, no, I prefer just keep what we've been using for this year and whatever. whatever we have to do for next year, we do it for next year. I don't think it really, at this point, we already are used to doing what we have to do with it. So.
Yeah. And it looks like the cool 90s Jazz Cup, so there's that.
Yeah. I will say the design makes it actually a little tough for keepers. I think they have to keep it yellow or a different color, just because, especially because these things get real like mucked up, so they get like a grayish thing. So it kind of makes it a little bit harder, but it's not. But yeah, that's the reason. I'm blaming the reason why I've got scored on 70 times is because of.
It's like the guy in the gray car in the rain with his headlights off.
Exactly.
So I was just going to ask you when you're talking about this. So you prefer a yellow ball over a white ball as a keeper then?
I would prefer any color in indoor soccer, just because the white with the blue makes it kind of hard, like pretty dull. But like I said, that's not the reason why I'm getting scored on. I got to catch it.
I'll give you that. I'm willing to.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from a fan standpoint, watching a game, either in the arena or on the broadcast, it just, by the time it starts moving, it just looks like a white ball.
Yeah.
Can't tell if it's like, oh, it's just a white ball, and not even the white and old white and black, hex patterns or whatever. It just looks like a white ball on the field.
Yeah.
Almost looks like the first miter ball they had that was white before they went to the yellow one.
Yeah. That actually miter ball was kind of the same thing too. But granted, we had them like older, so they're like more gray. But yeah, it's not. Once again, it's not even like a big deal. I would just prefer if it was yellow. I feel like it'd just be or a different color. Like I know they had a Puma ball that was like a bright red, and that ball hurt. That ball was ridiculous. That ball, and I'd even play with it. Like I wasn't in MASL, but I've played with it, and I'm like, I would quit. This is like that one. That one.
Well,
really hurt.
So the red Puma was like late 80s, 90s, somewhere in that era, I thought.
No, I thought that was the MI. Oh no.
You're thinking of the yellow and black Puma when the MASL first started.
There's a red ball. The
MISL had a
Yeah, that one wasn't bad. I just played with the red ball once. I don't remember what it was, and I think I was younger. I was like 13, 14. I was like, it was like plasticky.
Yep.
And it was like
I have one of those somewhere, in the room somewhere.
I was like, yeah, no, this is not the one.
I remember going from so I played as a kid. I remember going from the size 4 to the size 5, and it felt like it was bigger than I was. It was just
yeah.
Like you never think it would be. It's a ball. How much bigger can it be? And
yeah, it's funny when they make that switch because they can't so the kids could like smash a size 4, and then a size 5 they can like barely kick it 5 yards. Like I feel like there needs to be like a 4.5.
Yeah. Well, they changed the goal kick rule, especially in youth, just to get around that, because you just as an opposing team, you just line people up right along the 18, and the goal, the kids can't kick the ball over their heads at all.
Yeah, that was for my club that I coach. If you can have one person who can kick it to half, you're gonna win. Because I'll play the right way for 50 out of the 60 minutes, and when we're down, I'm saying everybody line up on the 18 and hit the ball and score.
We did that a lot this year, didn't we?
So it's like 5-4. I don't like they're beating us 4-0. I'm like, all right, pride's gone. Line up.
Yeah.
Get what we do. So.
Lucy says she thinks the ball should be bright pink.
Oh, I'd be cool with that.
Like not even a pattern on it, just like Pepto-Bismol pink all over the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Why not?
I'm cool with that.
It would be easy to say. I think it would look great at in St. Louis. They have the pink on their uniform now, and each team. Yeah. What about each team having their own ball? What that?
No.
Everyone just use the same word.
Yeah, right. If we did that, And it was some teams don't
Imagine
some teams
Baltimore with a different ball.
Yeah, some teams don't even provide like cups and water. You'd have them provide.
Well, they would be the
balls.
same brand. They would just have different paint on them.
I mean, that's
different colors.
hey, listen, that's a brand, that's a marketing idea, man. Like, we got to be different. We want more fans. Like, you got to do something that's a little bit different.
It's a niche gimmick. I hate to use the word gimmicky, but it's kind of a gimmicky sport as it is. Might as well embrace it.
Yeah. No, honestly, that's like it is. I mean, you gotta
Anything to get more.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta do what works. If we're gimmicky, then we're gimmicky. I remember the Lancers, like, one year, one of their players, I want to say it was Elliot Foskey, like, wasn't in, and he, like, halftime, like, did the cheerleading thing. Like, he learned the routine and did the whole, like, routine with the
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
So it's like, you got to do what you got to do. You know, they drew great at the time. So
It wouldn't surprise me if he taught them the routine prior to the game. And then,
yeah, it's like, all right, guys, we're switching it up.
yeah.
Take my lead.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was hurt and we had cheerleaders, I would have no problem doing that.
Yeah. So Jack says the Baltimore ball would be 25% smaller than everyone else's.
Yeah.
That's probably true. So
All right, so I got to ask this question. You probably knew it might have been coming, or you could probably not be surprised I'm asking. How is it like to play on the turf laying over the dirt in Harrisburg?
Oh, I love it.
Really? Okay. I didn't see your face there. It's just the blank stare.
Yeah,
Be careful. Listen, be careful.
Entering dangerous territory.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah,
Move
listen.
on. He loves it.
Okay, next question.
I'm going to make one statement. I love the spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous person, so I love when the ball is a pass and it just bounces to your knees, and you just got to deal with it. It's just
deal with it. You're a pro player. You got to deal with it.
There you go.
deal with it. So it's like
He loves it. He can throw it the length of the field.
Yeah,
He's
listen,
fine.
that's
Welcome
why-
to the farm
So
show.
you just gotta keep it in the air. So that's what I do. No, I mean, once again, you just gotta deal with it. We did, you know, every arena is different. You just gotta deal with it. Do I love it? Absolutely. But you just deal with it for the other people, and I think it's an advantage. Like before this year, we were 19-1 at home.
Oh, wow. I didn't
And
realize that.
yeah, like, we just didn't lose at home. And once we built off that, it was like, okay, we know that people don't like the dirt on their feet. You know, people don't like the bobbles. People don't like the smell. And we just embraced it, right?
No one likes.
Well, you have to. Yeah. I mean, what do you? What else do you do?
And you got to have your advantages, right? And even so, like, when we played at the farm show or the bigger arena, like, you could have 4,000 people in there and it'd still sound dead, right? And we were just used to that. And I think the other people it felt like to them it was like you're just playing in like a dirt patch with your friends, like, oh, you know, but even like I think honestly the fans being closer has helped other teams this year because we were able to take people out of the game. Now it's like I feel like they feed off the crowds now.
So much to know the
But
quarter.
at the end of the day, once again, my official statement is I love it. It's one of my favorite places to play as well, and go from there.
We'll go from there. Well, okay, next topic. Matt, you have any questions?
Matt's
No.
still scared.
What?
Matt's still scared. He'll DM me the questions later, and I'll just see.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna DM you any questions I have. I've already asked you all sorts of questions, and if I think of something, I'll see you Sunday. So it doesn't matter.
That's true. Cake in hand.
Yeah.
The league needs a cake sponsor.
We do need a cake sponsor.
Good idea.
Well, we had a donut sponsor. So
Yeah, but I ate those.
They're gone. That house is gone now.
All right, so we won't do picks for every game, but how about the biggest game of the week? Sunday night, Chihuahua at San Diego.
Once again, I'm not going to say the score or the team. I don't think it's going to be close.
You know, he's gonna DM me who's gonna win.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
Listen, once again, I name the games, and I'll send them. I'll send them to Matt.
Okay. Right hand up is this home team.
Morse code.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, listen, if we were top of the league, I would be calling them all out. With 2 wins, I can't make any enemies with nobody. No, we don't need any
Don't
ammo,
look good.
Don't need anything.
No, I appreciate that. I think there are some players that wouldn't have the same attitude. Some players will go in and call them no matter what.
So basically, you're calling me soft. But, all right, that's
No. I'm calling you more sensible maybe than others. So our friend Bushwhacker in St. Louis wants to know who's your favorite mascot in the league?
definitely not that thing y'all got in Utica. That thing is scary.
I agree. 100%.
That thing needs to be euthanized. That thing is scary.
It's got to be Scourge.
Homeboy Scourge.
I haven't seen a lot of mascots. I can tell you who my favorite cheerleaders are.
Oh god.
Probably plead the fifth there too.
I'm trying to see who has, like, Baltimore doesn't have a mascot.
Milwaukee has one.
Milwaukee does. Oh, I like Milwaukee's guy.
Nice.
He's a good.
Red Beach.
We have one.
We have one. Gotta lose a little.
Purple thing.
Yeah.
Scorch.
Is that dragon? That's supposed to be a dragon, right?
I think so. I think
he breathes fire.
I almost believe he's from the original Heat.
Oh yeah. I'm sure of it. Yeah. So speaking of Utica's, what is Utica's keeper supposed to be? Its keeper is his name. So what is it? What kind of animal or creature?
I don't know.
That is like bro.
You can't really.
That thing was trained in a lab. That's not. That is not something that.
What is it?
Don't look it up. Your phone. Don't.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Because I've only seen it once.
I've only played there once.
I think they threw it away. And
you'll probably see it Sunday.
Okay.
It's not good.
It's like, what are you doing? It's literally, I already have a restraining order for that thing. Within 100 feet near me, or I'm that thing is scary.
Imagine. So I had Hannah and Henry with me for the first game, and this thing comes out on this police car, and we're like, we've never seen a mascot. I mean, Syracuse had the Silver Knight, whatever, but there was no mascot. This thing's coming out on a police escort. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And Hannah was like, Daddy, that thing is scary.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, Hannah. Yes, it is.
One thing me and Hannah agree on: that thing needs to never show up.
It's mildly disturbing.
I'm trying to find a picture of it. So.
No, please don't.
No, don't do it. Please don't.
Well, Robbie hasn't seen it. I think it's almost a rite of passage.
No,
Robbie gets. You can't show Robbie something so scary at this late because he'll get nightmares.
Yeah, you don't. We don't want him.
I'm almost as soft as well.
And he's not going to want to come to Utica. And then, you know what, Adam, show him.
Don't show him. That thing is scary.
I can't find it. Why wouldn't he be on the social media page? Oh, I know. So if you want to look up, there was an old show when I was a kid called The Land of the Lost. There's these weird alien things with these giant eyes. It's that plus...
Oh, gosh.
Because he has wings, so almost like a dragon thing, or a flying lizard, or I don't know. And the eyes are so realistic. Like, why would you put so much effort into making those eyes look real when they're like this big each? Yeah, that thing is creepy.
Mildly.
Well, I guess if I don't see it today, I'll see it on Sunday.
Yeah. Kelsey said she liked the Utica mascot.
Okay, no.
Of course, Kelsey also says, why are we out pretending that Brad Beach isn't creepy as hell? But then again, aren't all mascots kind of like that?
Yeah, they're definitely.
Have you seen the mascots in Chihuahua?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, hey, right. Yeah.
Those are scary too. Those are. Oh, actually, no.
Is this thing?
No. That's the Comets. That guy's cool. The Comets mascots, the Comets the UC Comets mascot's fine. The other one looks like his brother that is left in the basement.
Yep.
It's not.
Bushwhackers.
The Savage mascots, they were like, some of them were kids, so it was like pretty funny. And
Right.
You could tell they could barely keep their head up. They're like walking and they can't keep their head up. So
That makes them more creepy though. Just
it was. I was like, I get what they're doing. They're trying. Someone's parent was like, "Hey,
trying.
put on this suit and walk around." He's like, "All right."
I'm gonna offend all the San Diego fans now because their mascot's creepy. The soccer's guy,
Oh.
because he has this weird like giant open mouth thing, and it's just like, I don't know what we're doing here, but yeah.
Mascot. I don't think I've seen a sign.
I haven't seen it either.
Well, you guys got homework to do, and you're in your bus ride to
There you
Baltimore.
go. Yeah.
Mascot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can. I think we can let you guys go get some rest before your game tomorrow.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Sorry it took so long.
No problem.
We'll have to have you on.
He's still looking.
Yeah, we're looking.
I'm looking for it.
I was looking for it
What
too.
it eats like.
All right. Maybe we'll try to find this thing. Someone in Utica here. There's Utica fans in the crowds. Message me the picture of your creepy ass mascot.
You should be able to go. Okay, do you have Twitter up?
Oh yeah.
If you typed in like Utica City FC keeper or something like that, I think they put a video up.
Oh, video's worse. I got nothing.
Well,
I got-
I don't know.
I got one hit from 2019. Oh wait, here it is. Okay, hang on. How do I get this saved?
Please don't save it. Just show it.
Well, I have to save it over to show it. So
Oh, okay.
If you
Great.
put this on the screen, I'm turning this off.
Whatever.
we'll close the. Oh, it's not going to show. Oh, what the?
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Perfect. Did everybody a favor tonight.
Oh, I got ways around it. Hang on. Just hold. You could do a timeout, but it'll be here before you know it.
We can't wait.
I know you can't. All right, so
I told you that thing scared me the last game against Baltimore, right?
or come up behind you.
Yes.
You press charges.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, we can't really see. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It actually looks a lot worse than I remembered.
There was a close up of it I sent to somebody, and I might have sent it to you.
Oh my gosh! It looks like an anteater and a bug mixed together.
Yeah,
It does look like an anteater.
and I mean the eyes are like this big each.
Remember,
It's
did you guys see Harry Potter? You remember those blue pixie things
No.
that like flew around?
I don't remember. I haven't seen all those movies.
Yeah, there's like
I'll have to look it up, but you're probably like close.
Oh,
I mean,
here's an even better one.
no,
It's like that.
no,
Let's see if I can find-
no. I wanna be able to sleep tonight.
That's what I'm saying.
Nope, no sleep for the.
that was pretty.
Oh wait, hang on.
Oh yeah, that's a good yeah.
Let's see,
Yeah, he looks like.
it looks like this thing.
How do I get this? What is? Hang on. Okay, here we go.
Like it looks like this thing.
Oh yeah. Here's a better.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Here's a better picture of it. Look at those eyes.
Yeah, it literally looks like the pixie.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Okay, that's enough of that. Sorry.
He's
Oh,
traumatized.
now we've lost Willie.
So I got Kelsey and Lucy each sent me like 5 pictures of the thing. Oh, that's funny. Looks like an anglerfish. Oh yeah, those things. With the thing like dangling from its head that it uses to try to, and then.
Yes. From what is that from? Yeah, that thing just needs to go. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make a GoFundMe to
To get rid of it.
To upgrade the mascot.
I will be the first one to
GoFundMe page.
Well, guess what? I guarantee you when they score,
That thing's coming.
somebody's going to see this and they're going to use it against me. I try to be good.
He's going to come out
I try
with
to
the
be
flag
good.
and run around.
No.
The GoFundMe won't be to replace the mascot; it'll just be to get rid of it. Like, how much money does it take for you to stop showing this thing?
Whoever has the balls to just
Say it's got to go.
to take it, just to kill it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining.
All right.
We'll have to do this
Thank
again.
you.
Maybe like in the off season, we'll have you pick like the winners for the next season, or do something with Hannah. Be
I
able
can do playoff. I can do playoff picks
There we go.
because we'll be in there. And we're gonna.
All right.
All right, so like basically like a month from now, because that'll be towards the last game.
Yeah. Last game's a month from now. Yeah.
All right, we'll book it.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for having us.
Thank
All right,
you.
yeah, thanks. Have a good night.
All right.
We're
I'll
gonna
see
take
you
a
guys
timeout. We'll
Sunday.
be back just in a little bit.
No.
Now would be a great time for a timeout. Now, back to them.
Hello, it's them.
Back to them.
Oh, Joey, we get to watch a Joey Zanaboni broadcast tomorrow night.
That's true. That is very true. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So I have some news. It's gonna make our shows a little bit shorter in the future. And I decided not to do the broadcast grading and rankings anymore. And there's a couple of reasons. The main reason is that I didn't get to watch all the games. And I didn't really put any effort into watching all the games this last weekend. I did other stuff. I have.
Well, I can tell you the games that happened Friday. I did watch the Friday games.
I watched. Let's see. What day was this?
Was it Friday or was it Saturday?
I watched most of the Friday night game, the Sockers and Comets.
That was Saturday.
No, that was Friday. I'm looking at the schedule.
Harrisburg and Utica and Baltimore, Florida, and then Baltimore, Utica.
So I watched the whole game Friday night. I watched
Baltimore, Florida, Harrisburg, Utica. That's right.
Yeah, I watched like the entire 45-minute pregame show from the Blast that I rather wished I wouldn't have watched.
Which it was. So I found out. So here's the thing with that. I heard it was approved that they could do that, but don't put that on the MASL page, because out of town people are like excited to watch at 6:05, and then you have to sit through all that. And I understand it's great and wonderful, and congrats to Baltimore for doing the 40-year thing.
Yeah.
I thought both things were great, but maybe put 7:05 kickoff.
Right.
And start everything at 6:05.
Or put 6:05 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff, so everyone knows the two times.
Right. Exactly. I think that would
yeah.
have been communicated better.
Kevin, give me a couple minutes. I'll answer that in a second.
Because Utica's game finished before Baltimore's did, and that started an hour later.
Right. And then Baltimore had just all sorts of audio problems. The sound kept cutting out for minutes at a time.
Harrisburg's video was a little off. It wasn't following the ball very well, and then I think at one point the audio went out as well. So
Chihuahua much improved. Their audio was fixed for the first game and then went back to crap for the second game. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. So Saturday I didn't watch any games until the debacle in San Diego. And I didn't really miss it. And I kind of was like, you know what? These aren't really doing anything. Like, if we have JP Dellacamera, the biggest name in soccer broadcasting in the US, arguably, and if he's not able to get these teams to fix their shit, then there's certainly nothing I can say or do to get it to fix their shit. So I'm going to enjoy the games that I'm going to watch, and this is also going to free up some time for me because I don't feel like I have to watch 7 games on a Saturday then or whatever it's going to be.
Right.
And just pick and choose what I want or what I don't want, and we'll call it a day.
So I want to, before we get into anything, I want to tell you a quick story. So, Adam, you sent me a clip, or not a clip, a link. What night was it? Monday night? Wednesday night? No, it was either Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, what was it of?
It was from Ryan Sigich. It was the
Monday.
webinar with a referee that has done World Cups and all this stuff, and he was basically telling the referees like how to control a game and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I don't know. Did you get a chance to watch it at all, or?
I have not.
Okay, well, I'll tell you a quick story. So last week we talked about, we did the webinar thing, and they got sent clips of plays, and they got to vote, whatever. Well, they did that this time, but it was on the fly.
Oh.
So you've got all of these referees, and then you've got like Keith Tozer, JP Dellacamera was in the call. I was there. So they showed a call. It was San Diego, Kansas City. So everyone voted, and it was like 88% of the people picked a blue card, and 10% picked a foul, and it was like 5 different things, and it was broken down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 10%, 88%, and then there was a little tiny 2%. It was like a blue plus a yellow. Guess who was a part of that 2%?
Was that you?
It was me.
Were you right?
No. No, I wasn't. So the next day, I get a message from Eric Bergerud, and he's like, were you on I thought I saw your name on the webinar yesterday. And I'm like, maybe.
Maybe.
And I'm like, I was in there until they started doing the polls and stuff, and I didn't want to get called out. I was waiting for them to be like, and who had the blue card plus a yellow card?
Well,
Me.
I mean, how many people were on that thing? 50 or so?
7. Yeah, it was like 70, I think.
So that was probably just you. You were the only one that got that.
I was probably the only one. I'm like, oh crap.
So let me read and answer a question.
Okay.
Well, Kelsey says you want to know why he didn't watch them, meaning the broadcast, because the broadcast sucked. Everyone's sound kept cutting out. That didn't help any.
That is true. That is true. And it wasn't because of Utica playing, but I definitely favored the Harrisburg Utica game more than the Baltimore Florida game.
So Kevin says, Adam, your team put on the worst effort I've ever seen in a game. Was your coach wasted or what? Why would you play a shell D against San Diego? The answer to that is there were.
Was he not paying attention?
Yeah, I don't think he follows the M1 as much as the M2 because of Cleveland. So Kevin, there's a roster of 16 players, and because of injuries and visa issues, 12 of the players that played in the Saturday night or Sunday night game would not have played if those injuries and visa issues were not an issue. So we had
Kevin, they were depleted beyond depleted. So it was.
There were 3 players who played in a previous season with the Wave. Well, 4.
Yeah, a lot of these issues you're seeing in Milwaukee and Utica, you're not seeing it in San Diego. So San Diego has a full roster.
A couple of them.
Yeah. So
I mean, if the limit's 30 players, they have almost. Yeah, I mean, if the limit's 30 players, San Diego has almost 2 full rosters that could play and compete in this league, right?
Right. So it was definitely a different Milwaukee team than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, It was maybe a little bit worse than I thought, but it wasn't one of those that I was just mad about or upset about. I kind of expected. They were thrown into a crazy situation, and it doesn't mean anything bad about the team. It's just where we are right now. We're getting better and getting better and getting better, and then we got wiped out by just all these crazy injuries.
Exactly. And I'll say this, like I keep telling myself with Utica, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I mean, who's to say San Diego doesn't have a slew of injuries starting this week or something like that'll affect them the rest of the season. So
right.
It's just bad timing.
Yep. And I expect it to be, it's going to be rough for a bit. Huffman served the first game of his 5-game suspension. He won't be back until the 20th, I think. Marcio's still out with a hamstring. Alex Bradley, MCL and a broken thumb. Wiedebach, MCL, and I mean, it's just there's one thing after the other going on in this list, but they all have the potential to be back for the last few games into the playoffs. Yep. We'll see what happens. Now, last year when they happened to St. Louis, they hadn't played together enough to have that chemistry built. So we'll see if we can get some games going and some momentum going into the end of the season.
Yep.
But right now it's kind of like this weekend we're hoping to split. We're hoping to beat St. Louis and basically go in on almost. I mean, you don't want to say it's a free roll, but you kind of go in kind of expecting to maybe not do as well against Florida because they're so good right now.
But you're getting them on the second end of a back-to-back. So
no, we're getting the first night.
Oh, you're getting the first night of Florida? Oh,
St. Louis gets the second night. Yep. So that was my comment about the Milwaukee game. I don't want to get too much into it. I know the guys are feeling bad about it. Yeah. I haven't really talked to anyone on the team about that game, and it's just one of those things that let it go and
yeah, that's kind of how I am when it comes to, I mean, Utica and Baltimore. That game was kind of off, and I don't want to bug anyone, but
yeah. Let's talk about the San Diego versus Kansas City game.
A lot of stuff
coming into that game. And what day was that? Was that the Saturday night game?
I will be honest. I didn't watch that game.
Oh.
I did see the end with the red card. I did see that, but besides that, I didn't really watch the game.
Well, there was like 12 cards in the fourth quarter or something ridiculous. It was insane. So let's go back to the weekend before. Wave played Comets in a back-to-back, a home and a home. So between those two games and then this Friday night, the February 25th game, Kansas City had 76 fouls and 27 cards across 3 games.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot. And that was, I think in my history of watching indoor games, that was the worst game I've ever seen as far as just, it put a bad taste in my mouth of the sport as a whole, and not even just Kansas City. It was both teams fell into it. I mean, Craig Elston and Nate were like begging for the game to be over towards the end of the game. Can we please And they weren't saying it about the refs. They were saying it just about the entire game. Can we please just get through this last 2 minutes without another card? Bam, another card. Can we please just get through the last 10 seconds without another card? 7 seconds left, another card. And when the announcers are basically begging just for the game to be over, that they're already winning, that's bad.
Yeah, that definitely. And it'll be interesting now. There hasn't been any sort of additional suspensions or nothing from the league. Okay.
There won't be. That's it. There still was never a fine for Andreos for the headbutt that he got a yellow card for. The league's not even following their own protocols for some of this stuff. But yeah, it was bad. And then that leads me into my next topic. There's this new show called MASL Mondays. It's a podcast, and then either Tuesday or Wednesday they released the MASL TV released the video version of it. I got through about 5 minutes of it. Not a lot of energy for these guys. It's kind of like somebody woke them up and they had to do this show and they were kind of forced. And he started talking about how great this game was and how much fun it was to watch and how it's great for the league and great for the sport in general. And I'm like, you guys are no clue what the hell you're even talking about. So I just shut it off. So if anyone else has a better opinion of MASL Mondays, yeah. Did you watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing?
I did listen to it on my way to work. And as I was telling you, I mean, they seem like they're knowledgeable. So the audio was about 26 minutes long. About 22 minutes of it was San Diego, Kansas City, and then Baltimore. And then about 4 minutes of recap.
Oh.
And it wasn't really recap. It was like, oh, well, Utica lost to Baltimore 8-3. And then this team lost to this team. And I think more analysis of the games would be nice. Actually, maybe having an opinion on it. But, I mean, besides that, it wasn't really. I mean, if I were to give it a grade, I would probably give it a C-.
I gave it I can't take this after 4.5 minutes, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a lot about the Sockers are the greatest team in the league right now, and one of the guys is a Baltimore expert, and he was talking about that. And then I think they kind of forgot why they were there, and then they're like, oh well, we gotta throw this in here as well.
Yeah, I admittedly write people off way too fast. Like if I see someone write a public Facebook message and there's words spelled wrong and wrong grammar, I'm like, oh, this person's an idiot, and just kind of that whatever. And after they were talking about how great of a game the San Diego KC game was, I was like, these guys have no fucking clue. I'm just gonna turn this off. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I like I said, I think MASL Mondays, it should be about all of the teams. If you're going to promote the sport, talk about all of the teams. I mean, that's what MASL Midweek does. They sit there and they talk about each game and they show highlights and they talk about
or primetime. You mean?
Or primetime? Yeah. They talk. Alex Bashavansky talks about the games and stuff like that. It was just kind of like, I don't know, four out of the 26 minutes of actually talking about the games.
But on the other hand, MASL Midweek is a lot of fun because it's kind of, it reminds me of how we start, and not that I want to, it reminds me of how we started the channel here, where we just have players on because nobody had anything to do back then. And we were like, hey, it's Friday night during COVID and no one can leave their house for apparently 2 years. What do you want to talk about? And then we talked to Derek Huffman for 4 hours. Or, well, you weren't there for that one, Mark Litton and Everton for 3.5 hours. So this week was Willie B. And like, if I would have known that Hannah wouldn't have been here, if I would have thought about it more, I would have written down every question she asked and just asked him that without even mentioning MASL Midweek. See if he caught on.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the week before it was Nate Bordeaux. So it's definitely getting an in-depth look into the players, talking indoor soccer, and then talking a little bit about their personal life as well.
Well, they had Danny Waltman on, and they talked music for a while. It was great. I I love the show. It seems like, and I'm not big on talk shows and I'm not big on podcasts at all, but I try to watch that one every week. Don't think I've missed.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I think. I mean, it's the first week for the MASL Monday.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it changes. But that's my opinion of it as of right now.
So Sterling says that's the problem with league/team controlled media. They have to tiptoe through the tulips to not offend the higher ups, so you can't get honest takes, just safe league approved ones. That was kind of my thought of why this may not be the greatest thing. I'll give it another shot. But if we have another game with 12 cards in the fourth quarter and they talk about how great it is for the league.
I'll listen to it on Monday. And I'll tell you how it is.
All right. We'll let you do the thing.
Yeah.
Gio says he likes it. He thought they were knowledgeable and they weren't trying to recap games. It was more just talking about stuff.
Well, of course, he's going to say that they talked about Baltimore for like 15 minutes. So
yeah, enough.
No, I mean that their goal was to recap. They're supposed to be going over the games of the week.
Oh,
I think that's what I got out of the whole thing. So,
yeah,
I agree. They're knowledgeable. Show more of that knowledge.
There's some stuff going on in the chat right now I gotta laugh about. Bushwhackers trying to get Kelly and Lucy to go to St. Louis for the game tomorrow night. He's like, oh, you have plenty of time after school. You can make it. It's a 7:35 p.m. game. And he's asking them, knowing that they're Milwaukee fans, and they're like, we live like 6 hours away. He's like, where do you live? Geez. Well, they live in the Milwaukee area because that's the team they would go watch. So I'm trying to keep a straight face, and I can't because I'm watching these messages fly by.
Oh, good.
But all right. So Baltimore signed 4 new guys for the M3 team. Next topic.
Schmerman to Kansas City. Big signing for them. I think that definitely shores up that defensive backfield. He's got a great foot on him. Made a really great goal when he was in Orlando against Utica from about midfield.
I remember some of his left foot restarts were awesome.
Yeah, so that's definitely a great signing. Unfortunate for St. Louis. But I mean, St. Louis is just, I don't know.
So Jack wants me to come to Utica this weekend. So let's see, directions, location, 12 hours and 42 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that far.
But if I take a bike, it's 73 hours.
So I mean, if you left now, so Thursday or Friday? Oh no, you wouldn't be there in time.
There's no bus route that takes me there.
What about if you walked?
261 hours.
Well,
not bad. It's a long day.
No, it's not.
It's a long day of walking for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in weather conditions like this. Although AccuWeather won't be able to tell you this, it's supposed to be 60 degrees in Utica on Sunday.
It is supposed to be 60 here on Saturday. And that it should be a good segment of the show that we should do this every week. If you go to the MASLsoccer.com page, you can get at the click of a button the current weather for Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
One click.
It is right now 21 degrees with a real feel of 20 degrees. Air quality is fair. Wind out of the north-northwest at 4 miles an hour with wind gusts up to 10 miles an hour. There's your local weather for Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
It sounds like you're an airplane pilot. You're like, yeah, and we'll be cruising at about 28,000 feet. And
yeah. So,
although, I think now that I think of it, airplane pilots, and I'm going to put a MASL spin on it, they kind of sound like Brian Ackley.
Except for hopefully they never yell goal right in the middle of the flight.
Yeah. And we're coming into Miami, Florida. And
Lane in front of us!
Thank you for flying United!
Oh boy. Yeah. Something I know, something I wanted to bring up. We talked with Willie B a little bit about the goalkeeper rule. And I believe it was Eric Bergerud who mentioned the target forwards are seeing more fouls against them. Frank Tayu's in foul trouble. Andre Hayne has been in foul trouble, and we've seen what happens when you foul out. You get fined, and somebody buys you a beer, and you're obligated to drink the beer while you're climbing the wall and going into the crowd after the game or during the game. I think because the nature of the rule puts more emphasis on that target forward spot, I think it leads to those fouls, and it leads to that target on the target. Could it be possible there's more injuries because of this rule? That was one thing that the number of people, both players and fans and league people, mentioned could be possible. Coming into with this goalkeeper rule, with all the momentum moving forward. I wonder about that.
I think Gio mentioned that.
That's right. Gio did mention that. We talked a little bit before. Is that I don't think we're gonna get a really true indication of how many more goals are scored per game. I think Chihuahua's screwing it up for everyone with scoring over 10 in almost every damn game they play. So if we were to take out the Chihuahua goals, which I don't know how we do that easily.
In fairness, I mean, take the year or 2 years ago, we had Sonora.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same concept, They have the same strategy. I mean, shoot at will, and not Will Bonahene, but
unless they're playing him.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're playing Willie B.
But then you have to shoot not at him. You have to shoot away from him because you don't want to shoot at him. He'll make the save. You got to shoot away from him.
Right. Yeah. You want to hit him low because he can't dive.
Yeah, he can stick a foot out. It'll be fine.
Right. So I mean, you could probably still keep Chihuahua's goals in there because Sonora, I mean, lit it up at home pretty much every game as well. So.
Yeah. I'm feeling good about. Are you out of ding dongs? Too bad. I don't have any cake.
I don't know what I'm going to do now.
Tara made. Have you ever had almond cookies from like Chinese takeout places?
Yeah.
You know how they're like really crumbly?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you ever had sugar cookies that are like really chewy in the center, she made an almond sugar cookie. They were awesome.
Well, good to know.
Good to know. The more you know. It's kind of all I had. All I wrote down.
Are we picking it now?
I think we can do pick. We need a little graphic for doing our picks. Wait.
Do we? Ah, crap.
One more time. Ready? Oh, I think you got it.
Now I got to go to the store and get more cake.
It's always a travesty. So we seem to have lost 2 subscribers this last week. It was probably Gio and Brad, but just do this, hit the little button, and then you'll make us happy. Something.
Yeah.
They're still talking about like, are you flying or driving? Should we take a limo to St. Louis? And then Kelsey says, why don't you come here on the 20th? And he says, because I've been banned.
Wow.
Oh, all right. So
okay.
It's a segment you've all been looking forward to.
We might be under 2 hours this week.
We have 14 minutes to pick 11 games.
We can do it.
Let me just see if there's any. Are there any back-to-backs with two teams? Home and homes, or
Not that I know of.
I don't think so. I think these are all single. No, KC and Dallas have a home and a home. All right.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
You all warmed up to do your picks?
It's not really warm, but I'll manage.
Friday night, the only game. No, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Friday night, one of 4 games.
Which is not the only game.
Which is not the. Which is kind of like the only game, but kind of not. Harrisburg at Baltimore, and go.
Well, I mean, Baltimore winning against Utica 8-3 the other night. Meanwhile, Harrisburg losing to Florida 8-6. I mean, that was a great game. But you're playing in Baltimore, and the mystique behind the short field in Baltimore. Baltimore definitely has a huge home field advantage. Willie B doesn't sound like he's going to be in net for this one. I'm going to take Baltimore.
Good timing. I'm going to talk for 28 seconds and then make my pick. No, I pick Baltimore. I don't think. I think without Willie B, they're a different team. I think with Willie B, they have the X factor of Chris Toth in that. Wait, does that work? But I pick Baltimore. I think they've figured out whatever the thing is that Willie B does that they all know about. So that gives it away.
And plus Van Zel's back, so I mean,
plus Van Zel's back. Yeah, it's good to see him in net. Baltimore. All right. Next 2 games are going to be Friday night, Dallas at Kansas City, and then Sunday afternoon, KC at Dallas. And we'll give you more time if you need it. Go.
No, I'm good. So Dallas definitely losing a heartbreaker over the weekend. Shootout loss to St. Louis. Meanwhile, Kansas City, doing Kansas City things. Out west, losing to Ontario. They did have the lead in that one, 4-2, losing 8-5. I do see a comeback for one of these teams. I will take the Comets in a sweep.
Comets and sweep. All right, next game.
All right.
I'll give myself a timer. Comets will not have John Sosa for Friday night because he was a naughty boy last weekend and got too many cards.
Did he finally get suspended from the Central Cup?
Yeah, right, yeah. He got card accumulation, so he's out for that just random arm waving thing that he did that just happened to be in Benji's face. I don't think Dallas is competing at the level that Kansas City is. Kansas City has kind of faltered in the last 2 games, but I don't think that means anything. I think they win both. Sweep. Next game, I'll let you go first. Milwaukee at St. Louis.
Give me the wave. I got an extra 3 seconds. And an extra. Okay. Just keep on going. So yeah, St. Louis did win 9-8 in a shootout. Milwaukee, of course, we all know what happened to them, but they are getting some of their key players back. Another game without Derek Huffman, unfortunately. Another game without Marcio Leite. But I still think Milwaukee is a little more talented. I would see this going to overtime. Overtime, give me the wave.
Overtime.
Right.
Fun fact, people, go to the Tacoma Stars Facebook page about a couple days ago, and they had a post, and see how they titled it. It's going to look very much like this.
Overtime.
It's true.
It's true. My turn. Wave is getting back. Luan. Mario Alvarez is coming back from a long injury. Jonathan Pacharo will be back. And Joey Capinos is in town. Matt Perella's been playing well. I'm going to pick Milwaukee, but I think it's going to be, like Willie B said, I think it's going to be 7-5. I think that's about it. And 1-0. Alrighty. Last game of Friday night. Ontario at Tacoma, and go.
I really, really like this game. Ontario going to the northwest to play Tacoma. Ontario definitely bouncing back, beating Kansas City. I mean, they came back and scored. What was it? It was 6-1, or no, 6-3, 6-1. No, it was 6-1. After being down 4-2. Yeah, I'm going to take Ontario.
I will also pick Ontario. They scored what, 3 goals in 43 seconds the other night. So it shows that they still have the explosiveness. I think they need to shore up a few things on defense. Homo's a weird team to play at home. But I pick Ontario in this one, and I screwed up. So it's a back-to-back. Friday and Saturday night, Ontario at Tacoma. Do you want to?
Okay. Well, if you want to.
All right, start over.
Resetting.
Friday and Saturday
Ontario
night.
in a sweep. Go ahead.
What?
I said Ontario in a sweep. Go ahead.
Okay. Ontario in a sweep. Okay. Next game, I'll start. This is Utica. Utica at. This is we finally get. We went through. Oh no! Wait. You start. Where am I?
I don't know. Are there any Saturday games? Because Utica's is on Sunday.
So there are only 2 Saturday games, and we just
they're the home and homes, right?
We just talked about one of the Saturday games. Other Saturday game, I'll let you start here. Florida at Milwaukee, and go.
Well, hopefully Florida comes in and plays like they did against Harrisburg. They looked a little flat, and Harrisburg almost pulled off the victory. I mean, with all of Milwaukee's players back, this would be a no-brainer for me. I would definitely take Milwaukee at home, but in this case, I'm going to take the Tropics on the road.
Oh, I need a 90-second timer for this one.
All right, go ahead.
I have a lot of thoughts. Milwaukee's played a number of back-to-back games, and they've done really well in a couple of them, and not so really well in a couple others. I think with Luan back and Mario Alvarez back, the midfield is going to be shored up much more. Defense is still a question. They signed Alex Tozer, so I'll do my new 30 seconds here. They signed Alex Tozer, who's the Commish Junior, I guess. Is that right? Commish 2?
Sure. Yeah.
Second. But he hasn't played a game with the Wave in, I don't even know how many. I don't even know if it was in the MASL years. Might have been the MISL. And I'm just stalling so I can hit the button again. So on my final 30 seconds, I would love to see Milwaukee win this. I think they can make it close, but I think I have to pick. I'm going with the upset. I'm picking Milwaukee.
All right.
It's a hunch. I think Joey Capinos plays big game. I think we can get Mario and Luan back into scoring.
Plus, it's Legends Night.
There's going to be a lot. We can maybe get some of those legends to play defense for us. I'm gonna do the ultimate homer and pick Milwaukee to win both games in a away and home, back-to-back games.
Okay.
All right, so that does cover the Saturday games. The next game I'll start first because it's Harrisburg at Utica. Utica has been looking good even in their losses against Baltimore, and they had 3 games in 5 days or whatever it was. It didn't look like they ran out of gas. I think without Willie B, Harrisburg's going to maybe struggle a little bit. I'm going to pick Utica in a home victory. That's it for me, and you're off.
All right, I may need like 60 seconds for this.
Okay.
So Utica, Harrisburg. So yeah, you're right. Utica does look a little better. Especially in that loss against Baltimore. But it's tough to gauge, I mean, with Baltimore's field and everything. But they did play really well, I thought. Score doesn't really reflect how it was played. A lot of goals happened in the fourth quarter. Utica was definitely in that game up until that point. Now to this game. Utica has had Harrisburg's number this season. I don't see that changing. It depends on who's in net. I definitely think Harrisburg is starting to kind of get things going. But I think when it comes to momentum, I think Utica right now has more of it. And I am going to take Utica by 3.
Gio picks the Heat, but he says this is for Willie B. So in other words, Gio picks Utica.
Okay, good.
If it was any other night and any other guest, he would have picked Utica.
He would have picked Dallas.
He would have picked Dallas, right. Hey, Gio, I didn't see your picks. I might have looked over them. Who did you pick KC against Dallas in both of those games? And we'll move on to the next game, and I'll read the comments after this. So Sunday, I'll let you go first again. Florida is on their back-to-back, their second game at St. Louis. And what do you think?
Oh my goodness. I want to go upset because I mean they're coming off of that game against Milwaukee and St. Louis plays on Friday, so they do have a day to rest. Who's going to be in net for Florida? I mean, Petracek has done okay. Do they try Navarrete? Do they try that guy with the 3 million followers on Instagram? I don't know. Give me St. Louis.
Wow. I mean, you need 30 seconds to just be shocked over what the last 3 words you said were. I'm going to start my timer over. I think it's not a question of if. I think it's a question of when will Petracek completely flake out in this team. They're definitely a different team without Silva in goal, and we kind of called Silva an overrated goalkeeper, and I think we meant an underrated goalkeeper because I think there was a lot of things that are coming through in holes in their games, and I need more time. It's a good thing we have this timer that we can keep clicking the button and cheat.
You have a button and cheat. I'm trying to do this under the 30 seconds unless it's my team.
I would cheat for you. Yeah, I don't care.
Well,
That's
not the whole point of it.
Look at the shiny cake. Ooh. I need more time. I think after Florida loses to Milwaukee, they're going to be extra upset, put extra heart into it. And after St. Louis loses to Milwaukee, they will lose their will. And I think Florida wins.
Well, they're not going to lose their will. I mean, they do it. St. Louis does have a will on their team. Will Niamsi.
SK.
And Will SK. Yeah. So they do have wills.
Oh. Well, both wills will play, but they won't win. And then I'm not even going to set a timer for this last game. This can be our extended conversation. Oh, it's right at 2 hours.
Overtime. Overtime.
Well, it's like 2.5 minutes.
Well,
almost. But I mean,
it's 2 hours since we went live.
Oh, okay.
And I thought we could maybe be done by then. So last game of the weekend, this is going to be a really, really good one. Chihuahua visits San Diego. What do you think?
I went against San Diego last week, and we all saw what happened there. I mean, Chihuahua or San Diego going to Chihuahua, they won in overtime both games. So, with that being said, and this is the Legends night as well. So they are doing their own Legends thing, and they're doing the jerseys and all that stuff. Boy, oh boy, this is a tough one. Like, I want to go against San Diego because I don't think a team is going to go undefeated this year, and I'm trying to figure out like when that's going to happen.
Well, I thought they were undefeated.
Wait, was it regular season?
Yeah, they have an overtime loss.
They have an overtime loss, but not a regulation time loss.
Okay, Jay.
It's a little different. They got a point. They got a point from that.
I know.
So I want to see a team beat San Diego in regulation Do you have a pick?
No, I'm stalling as much as you are.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
San
I
Diego,
mean,
you're great. You're wonderful. You have a great team.
it depends on who plays. So when they signed Brian Aguilar and Garay and who was the third guy they signed?
Well, they signed Poper.
Here, Valdivinos. All those guys. I thought they signed them and they were only going to be able to play in Mexico, but they've already traveled to the U.S. for a couple of games. They get going and they just score and they just score and they just score. San Diego has kind of fallen apart in a couple of games where they give up goals where they shouldn't and they don't get the momentum and they don't keep their foot on the gas. If that happens, Chihuahua can run away with it. If San Diego plays the defensive game like they've been playing, and they have played against some teams, it'll be much tougher. But remember, even early on in the season, Chihuahua played them 3.5 quarters tied.
Oh, wait. Never mind. No, I just thought of something, but then never mind. I was going to say Pino's out for this game, but he was out for the game against Milwaukee because of the Kansas City thing.
Somebody's out.
Well, it's not Pino. Pino already served his one game.
Yeah, the only other suspension is Sosa, other than Huffman, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna take San Diego, but it would not surprise me if Chihuahua won.
Well, we actually have one more game after this, which is almost just as good. I'm gonna pick San Diego because I haven't been able to pick against them until they improve they can lose. But I will say this, MJSL, if Chihuahua wins, the bet is a lock on my side. Absolutely 100% a lock.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if Chihuahua comes into Utica with 12 wins?
Oh my God. It just chills. And then Matt will be like, I hope we lose by 46 goals tonight just for Jay.
No, I want Chihuahua to win by 46 goals.
Right, that's what I mean. I want
yeah, I want you to win the bet.
Or in a shootout. It comes on the last shot of the season for a $20 bet. Yeah, I got to pick San Diego here. But there is one more game. There's Tuesday, March 8th, because Ontario is Ontario is going on strike for the weekend, so they're only going to play during the week from now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it's Chihuahua at Ontario. So maybe we need another overtime for this one.
No.
I don't know what Bushwasher was talking about, but he just said, I feel like a stalker, and I could have told you that like a half an hour ago, dude.
Yeah. All right, let's just finish this up. I'm gonna take Ontario.
I'm gonna take Chihuahua on the Tuesday night game.
Okay.
I think both games are gonna be close. I think they maybe lose to San Diego, but I think they can beat Ontario. If they were to sweep this weekend, it's even more of a lock than it was before.
How can you make a lock more of a lock?
By using more keys. No, more locks. More pins? Put glue in the lock?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Super glue? Cement? That would do it.
Sure.
Or cement in the lock? Or on the lock?
Yeah. Okay.
So, I think that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't plan? Our closer. Oh, I got it.
What?
I got it.
Wait, what?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
So
there were weeks when you didn't even have it set up, and it was so nice and it was wonderful, and we could just end it, and it was great. And now you're making videos about the whole thing.
That was fun. I like watching those videos. I make those for me more than anyone else.
Oh, Henry loved it. Oh my God.
Well, Henry will probably get a kick out of this one.
Well, I'm going to say my goodbyes. So, everyone, thank you for watching. Next week's show, we don't know what's happening yet. We may.
do.
Oh, we do. Okay.
Well, it's going to be highly dependent on how things go on Saturday night versus a Florida team in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Assuming we don't have the same kind of shenanigans we had a couple weeks ago, we will have Wave legend and broadcast legend Art Kramer on the show. Box.
Which is something I'm definitely looking forward to after watching and listening to. I mean, not just Milwaukee games, but I mean him covering like the MPSL back in the day, and definitely knows the sport. So it'll be good to talk to him. And then I will get Hannah's picks tomorrow, and I will post. I will have them on my little whiteboard.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to rethink the Willie B versus Hannah thing because it sounds like he wasn't going to do that anyway.
I would say playoffs. Why don't we put them together for the playoffs?
That's a good idea. Yeah. Because unless something really weird happens, Harrisburg won't be in the playoffs. He'll be able to pick all the games, say what he wants.
Right. Yep.
Nobody can find him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't messaged me yet. He always messages me and blows up my DMs.
I don't know if that's really how it goes, but sure.
It's not.
But yeah, I don't know how many games I'm going to watch this weekend. We'll see.
I will watch. So Friday, I'll probably watch like the first couple, and then I don't know what I'm doing Saturday. I haven't really planned out my day, and then Sunday, I'll definitely be watching the Utica game.
Well, watching it from the arena, I would assume.
Yes, I will be there.
All right. So there's this hunter.
Okay.
Duck hunter.
Okay.
He's out, and sees a duck, lines it up, shoots it. It falls down. He spots it. He takes a trek across the field, through the woods, over the river, and all that stuff. Not to Grandma's house.
So he doesn't have a dog. Okay, so he does it himself. Okay.
Does himself. And gets to where it drops, and it drops kind of near this barn. And there's this farmer standing over it. You aren't ready to hang. You can't hang up yet.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
No. I'm good.
There's this farmer standing over the duck, and the guy, he goes, "You shot this duck?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, it's my duck now." The guy's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, it fell on my land." And the hunter's like, "Well, no, I shot it. I shot it in the air. The air is not your public air. I'm sorry it fell on your land. I'll get it. I'll be out of it." And the farmer's like, No. He goes, "I'll tell you what. We have a tradition." And he's like, "We'll have a contest, and whoever wins the contest can have the duck." And the hunter's like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Well, we kick each other in the nuts, and the last person left standing takes the duck." The hunter's like, "Oh boy." He's like, "All right." And the farmer's like, "Well, it's my land, so I go first." The hunter's like, "Well, I can't really argue with that." Okay, so he braces himself. Farmer whacks him, and the hunter goes down. And he's screaming and he's crying, and he can't take it. And he's in pain, and tears are coming out of his eyes, rolling down his face. He finally gets himself back up. Again, maybe get a little magic spray there like they use in soccer games. And he stands up. And this guy's tall. He's like 6'4", probably weighs 300 pounds. Giant steel-toed boots on. And I was like, "All right, now it's my turn." And the farmer says, "No, that's okay. You can have the duck."